It was May 1944. A British officer sat alone in his study, staring at a document that could end the war before it began. Not end in victory, end in catastrophe. In his hands was the most dangerous secret on Earth, the full Allied invasion plan for Normandy. The beaches, the divisions, the date. He knew everything, and he was about to get drunk, walk into the street, and hand it all to a stranger. His name was Lieutenant General Morgan, and what happened next would bring the most consequential military operation in human history to the razor's edge of total collapse. The year is 1943. The war has been grinding for 4 brutal years. Europe is a fortress. Adolf Hitler has turned the entire Atlantic coastline into a wall of concrete, steel, and blood. Thousands of bunkers, millions of mines, artillery batteries that could sink a fleet before it reached the shore. The Germans call it the Atlantic Wall, and they believe it is impenetrable. But the Allies know something the Germans don't. A wall is only as strong as the men defending it, and those men can only defend what they know is coming. So the Allies make a decision that will define the entire war. They will not just plan an invasion. They will plan the greatest deception in military history. Operation Overlord will happen, but no one, not a single enemy agent, not a careless officer, not a loose-tongued diplomat, can ever know where. Into this impossible task steps a quiet, methodical British officer, Lieutenant General Frederick Morgan. He is given a title so bureaucratic it sounds almost boring. Chief of Staff to the Supreme Allied Commander. Cossack. His job is to plan the invasion of Western Europe before a Supreme Commander is even appointed. He is essentially building the most complex military operation in history with one hand tied behind his back. Morgan works in secret. He works in silence. And by the spring of 1944, he knows every detail of what will become D-Day. The target beaches in Normandy, the exact divisions that will land, the airborne drops, the naval bombardments, the fake army designed to mislead Hitler into defending Calais instead. Morgan carries all of it inside his head, and that makes him the single most dangerous man in Britain. Then one night, he almost destroys everything. The story that nearly broke Overlord wide open does not involve a spy. It does not involve a German agent slipping through British security. It involves something far more terrifying: human weakness. And it happens not once, but 3 separate times in the months before the invasion. 3 separate security breaches so catastrophic that Allied commanders genuinely feared the Germans already knew the plan. The first crack appears in the most unlikely place: a Chicago newspaper. In May 1944, just weeks before the invasion, a crossword puzzle published in the Daily Telegraph in London contains the answer Utah. Then Omaha, then Overlord, then Neptune, the code name for the naval operation, then Mulberry, the name for the artificial harbors. 5 answers. 5 of the most classified code words in the entire Allied arsenal. Printed in plain sight. Available to anyone in Britain, including German agents. MI5 descends on the puzzle's creator immediately. His name is Leonard Daw, a schoolteacher from Surrey. He is hauled in for questioning. He insists it is coincidence. Pure linguistic coincidence. The interrogators stare at him. The words are too specific, too precise, too perfectly timed. Daw is questioned for days, and then nothing, because the truth, when they finally uncover it, is almost more disturbing than espionage. Daw's students have been spending time near military camps. The soldiers, bored and careless, have been muttering code names out loud. The boys absorbed them and innocently fed them to their teacher as interesting words. No spy network, no conspiracy, just the terrifying randomness of human error. But that is only the beginning. In April 1944, 1 month before D-Day, 17 copies of top-secret planning document are sent by courier across London. These documents contain sensitive details about Overlord. One package comes open. Papers scatter in the street near the War Office. A civilian picks them up. He is an Irish national. In wartime Britain, Irish neutrality makes every Irish citizen a potential security risk. MI5 is convinced they're dealing with a catastrophe, that the plan is in German hands within hours. They put the man under immediate surveillance. They watch him around the clock. They wait for him to make contact with a German handler. He never does. He simply hands the papers to a British soldier and goes home. He never even read them. The documents are recovered. The breach is sealed. But the fear, the cold, nauseating fear that the invasion has been compromised, does not go away. And then comes the event that almost breaks Eisenhower himself. Exercise Tiger, April 28, 1944. In the pre-dawn darkness of Lime Bay off the southern English coast, a convoy of American landing ships is conducting a full rehearsal for the Utah Beach landing. Thousands of soldiers aboard, live ammunition, real conditions. The exercise is designed to simulate D-Day as closely as possible. What no one knows is that German E-boats, fast, lethal torpedo boats, have slipped through the British naval screen in the night. They have found the convoy. In less than 30 minutes, 3 LSTs are struck. LST 507 bursts into flame. LST 531 sinks in 6 minutes. LST 289 is badly damaged but survives. Over 700 American servicemen are killed in a single training exercise. More Americans die that night than will die on Utah Beach on June 6th itself. But that is not the reason Eisenhower nearly has a breakdown. The reason is this. Among the dead are 10 American officers who carry BIGOT clearance. BIGOT is the highest security classification in the entire Overlord operation. It means the holder knows not just that the invasion is coming, but exactly where and exactly when. And those 10 officers are missing. Their bodies have not been recovered. If even one of them is captured alive by the Germans, if even one is pulled breathing from the water by a German patrol, the invasion is finished. The entire war could turn in a single night. For 3 days, Allied commanders do not sleep. Every available vessel searches the waters of Lime Bay. Every body is cataloged. Every piece of identification is recovered. And then, on the 3rd day, the last BIGOT officer is found. Dead, floating face down. The secret dies with him. The invasion survives. But the damage to Allied nerves is done. Eisenhower and Churchill both know something the history books will not say plainly for decades. The Overlord plan came within a heartbeat of exposure. Not once, not twice, at least 3 times before a single soldier ever set foot on Normandy sand. And then there is Morgan himself. The story of what Frederick Morgan nearly did has been written about in hushed tones by historians who understand exactly what it would have meant. At a dinner party in London in late 1943, Morgan, exhausted, under immense pressure, carrying the weight of the entire invasion plan, drank too much. He began to talk. He spoke loosely. He referenced details that no one at the table should have known. Details that, pieced together by the right person, would have pointed directly at Normandy. The people at the dinner were allies. They were trusted, but trust was irrelevant. In the world of intelligence, information is a living thing. It moves. It leaks. It finds its way through the smallest cracks. One person tells one person. That person writes a letter. The letter is intercepted, and an entire army dies on a beach because a tired general drank 1 glass too many. Morgan was never charged, never formally reprimanded for that evening. But those who knew, and several did, understood how close the edge truly was. The margin between victory and catastrophe in May and June of 1944 was not tanks or aircraft or naval guns. It was silence. And silence, it turns out, is the hardest weapon in the world to maintain. What makes this story so extraordinary is what happened on the German side. Because the Germans were not blind. They had their own intelligence, their own agents, their own analysts poring over signals and photographs and capture documents. And their best intelligence officer in the West, a brilliant, meticulous officer named Colonel Alexis Baron von Wren, was actually providing Hitler with accurate information about Allied troop movements. He knew something was being built in southern England. He could see the formations. He could read the signals. But then something astonishing happens. Von Wren deliberately inflates the Allied order of battle in his reports to Hitler. He doubles the number of divisions he knows exist. He takes the real intelligence and amplifies it feeding Hitler the idea that the Allies have far more troops than they actually do. Historians have long debated why. Some believe he was part of the German resistance. Some believe he was manipulated by the brilliant Allied deception operation, Operation Fortitude, and the fake army of General Patton Station in southeast England. Whatever the reason, the result is that Hitler becomes convinced the Normandy landings are a feint. But the real blow is still coming at Calais, and he holds his Panzer reserves back. Von Wren is executed in October 1944, caught up in the aftermath of the July 20th assassination attempt on Hitler. He dies without ever publicly explaining what he did or why. And so the invasion succeeds, not purely because of Allied strength, not purely because of brilliant planning, but because of a schoolteacher's crossword puzzle that somehow stayed innocent. Because a civilian picked up scattered documents and handed them to a soldier without reading them. Because 10 BIGOT officers were found dead and not alive. Because a tired general's dinner table ramblings went no further. Because a German intelligence officer, for reasons history can still not fully explain, chose to lie to his own Fuhrer. On June 6, 1944, 156,000 Allied troops crossed the English Channel. They came from the sea. They came from the sky. They came in darkness and in storm and in fire. By the end of that longest day, the beaches were held. The wall was broken. The road to Berlin had begun. But here is the thought that never leaves you once you understand the story fully. The Normandy landings did not succeed because the plan was perfect. They succeeded because in the weeks and months before that dawn, a dozen moments of pure chance, desperate luck, and inexplicable human decision all fell, improbably, impossibly, in the same direction. Change one, just one, and the world you are living in right now may not exist at all.